to explore, learn, and improve. In today's Sensei special episode, we are honored to have Miss Lilian Manahan, or also known as Tats Manahan, a brilliant host who will join us to interview and feature an exceptional Filipino dancer. Well, she is not just a dancer, but also a choreographer, teacher, director, and producer. And she has been sharing her talent for dancing for more than 7 decades. She also proved her ability not just in our country, but also internationally. She is an inspiration of most dancers who aim to perform on bigger stages to express their love for dancing. So please join us to learn more about the story and journey of Miss Alice Reyes, the national artist for dance.
If there's anyone whom you could consider a fixture in the dance world, it would be one person. And by fixture, I don't mean an antiquity or anything, because she is vibrant to this day and is energetic and could beat any young person in anything she does. I'm talking about Alice Reyes, national artist for dance. So Alice, how did you get down to on that career path where you never left dance ever since? I've seen pictures of you as a child dancing. So how old were you at that time?
I started dancing when I was 4.
Wow.
I always thought everybody danced with their father.
Yeah.
No, I come from a musical family, so we danced, we sang. My mother was a voice teacher, so it was good. It was a good background for me and my sisters and my brother because we grew up with music and song and dance. And my father was one of the best dancers. I didn't realize that when I was dancing with him. But then we joined the Bayanihan, and then we traveled, and it was just part of life. I took up international relations at Maryknoll College. I was going to be a diplomat. It took me a long time to accept the fact that I was
going to dance.
That's right. There you go.
Okay, but at that time, you took ballet. But what led you down the path of modern/contemporary dance when you went to the States? What led you to that? Why that?
You know, this cultural attaché in the U.S. Embassy, I don't know how we met. He said one day, Alice, have got a scholarship for you if you want to take advantage of it. It's a summer scholarship at Colorado Springs College in Colorado Springs. I think it's actually Colorado College. And it was with Hanya Holm, who was one of the pioneers of modern dance. So I thought, why not? So I took that invitation, I went, and that really opened my eyes to this genre called modern dance. Now it's been called contemporary. I don't really know what contemporary means. I became a modern dancer. But it was an easy transition because I had folk dance in my feet and my DNA. So the rhythms of the Philippine folk dancers, and then all my ballet classes, Bach and Vivaldi and so on. So they all kind of combined, and it gave me this realization that one could work with all kinds of music, with our Philippine stories and folk materials, and hey, why not? I mean, so much for Swan Lake and Sleeping Beauty, and on the one hand, and then the folk dancers on the other. There was this whole middle path that I could go into. Yeah. And so when I realized that that was a good path for me to pursue, Hanya invited me to New York to introduce me to more modern dance, and I met all her disciples, all her students, who were all doing different things, and that was my break, my fortune, good fortune, because Hanya did not impose her vocabulary on anyone. She allowed you to develop your own. So there was Avi Nicolai with his incredible costumes and things, and Louis Murray and so forth. So I decided I needed more than what I had already learned going with Hanya to New York. So I thought, okay, let me take further studies. And I was accepted into a graduate course at the Sarah Lawrence College, which was run by this extraordinary woman called Bessie Schoenberg, who was such an incredibly fine composition teacher. So much so that the dance awards in New York are named after her, the Bessies. So that was my good fortune.
So just for the sake of those who will be watching this, how do you differentiate contemporary from modern?
Yun nga, hindi ko alam eh.
Ako rin.
So when they say contemporary, I'm always saying, okay, show it to me. I call it modern.
Yeah.
But then that's probably a generational term.
Yeah, probably.
After folk dance and ballet, jazz, there was modern dance. And then people went off to other things. And that probably got thrown into this basket that was more conveniently termed contemporary, and then hip hop followed.
Yeah, but the very basic of dance is ballet, right? For any
me,
form,
it's the best way to train your body to get a center and strength, and a skill that prepares you to do anything
whatever
you want to do.
So is this the reason why a few years ago I interviewed you also for a show, and you said that you envisioned a company that could do both the classics and modern. Do you still espouse that belief?
So much more so now, because all those classical companies in the States are all doing modern.
That's true.
They're doing, San Francisco Ballet, New York City Ballet, they're doing Twyla Tharp, who's a modern dancer. So no, I think this belief, this conviction has proven fine for this company, because our dancers can do any choreography, can work with any choreographer, do any style, focus on that particular style, and do it with as much confidence in their ability to do that particular dance because of the training that we provide them. And the mindset, it's a mindset. It's not putting yourself into one box, but just opening it to whatever is thrown their way. It's wonderful.
That's very liberal, but that's beautiful, because it shows in your creations there is a dash of Philippine ethnicity, there is modern, there is classical ballet, and all put together, that smorgasbord becomes your trademark, right?
If you wish to show and grace them for future performances, you may visit their Facebook page. Para sa marami pang Sensei at Limang Siglo na videos, bisitahin ang aming mga social media accounts. At huwag kalimutang mag-follow, mag-like, at mag-share. Ikaw ay nanonood pa rin ng Sensei.
So, after so many years, I can't count when I first met you, but after so many years, what keeps you going?
The joy of watching all these choreographers produce more fantastic new works, the joy of seeing older masterpieces and gems being staged on new bodies, the incredible delight in seeing the same passion, the same focus on perfecting one's techniques so that one can perform and become an artistic performing artist. That's always, I'm blessed that I can enjoy watching somebody else dance beautifully. I can.
Yes. And it's not surprising because a lot of them, like our dancers, they all have your DNA. When you see them, you can tell who trained them. I mean,
Okay, well, if you talk to
maybe
some
I've watched you once
if
too
you talk
many
to some of
things.
the older members of the company when I started, they would say, "Ay, kulang sa hagod," and I would
Yes.
tell them, "Magturo kayo," because I haven't taught this batch. I've
Yes.
worked with them, mentoring them with choreography or dances, but I have not taught a class. So that's a
That's right.
disadvantage for many. I mean, I cannot then demand that they do a movement the way it was originally done on the other dancers
Yeah.
because I have not taught classes. So I'm more accepting of their own interpretation now. So it's fine.
Okay, okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, because I was watching you for a long time, so I noticed that also that the present breed, although they are amazing, they are so talented, they are so polished, they still don't have what they call your hagod.
Yun. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just watching the run of Carmina Burana, and that's
Yeah.
a dance with 5 girls. And we've worked on this run, step, BA, melt. And they're still not doing it. So in my notes, I'm saying count 5 to go from the ball to the BA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because they're doing it 1.
Okay.
So yung mga ganung detalye. But that's
Yeah.
fine because they're so strong.
They are.
God,
They
that's-
are. I mean, I've never seen, bragging aside, I've never seen a company here in the Philippines as strong,
Yeah.
polished, and disciplined as the company you have now. You know.
Thank you.
So, this is a relatively new company, and what challenges? It was an unusual time for when it was set up. What challenges are you faced with, despite the exuberance of the performances of the dancers? But what are the challenges you have to face?
Well, the biggest one is the fact that we've lost the cultural center stages. Main theater, little theater, the rehearsal hall. I mean, we are blessed with this studio here at the Metropolitan Theater. We have a home, we have a new home, but it's 1/3 the size of the rehearsal hall. I mean, it's very different for us to get on stage to see the work, because here the dancers are on top of you. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
But we're thankful for everything. So this is a blessing that we have a new home. The other thing is always funding. I believe that dancers, performing artists, should be paid respectable wages and not, ay, sorry, wala tayong pera. So there's such immediate, constant need to raise funds and let people who are able to, who like dance, who believe in what we're doing, to help us raise funds like Tats here and like
We
yourself.
invite you to
Like yourself
give
to
also.
do this. Yeah. So we have programs like Adopt a Dancer, and that helps us. And then we've had the blessing of Senator Pia Cayetano, and of course the Culture Center's professional artist support program, which was spearheaded by Margie Moran Floridendo and Nick Lizaso, and carried on by Eva Salvador of the Arts Education Department of the CCP, and Aria Jongzon, Tess Francis, all these wonderful people, officials of the CCP who believe in this vision for this company of carrying on all the gems of the Filipino classics that we have, because we've been entrusted by the creators with their works, and the creative talent that is in this company and the new generation. I mean, it's not just within us, we're open to other creative talents, you know. So it's really just harnessing all that there is to keep creating, to keep the momentum, and also to reach out to regional teachers, regional dance students, and as often as we can, we draw them in and train them to dance with us.
Okay.
And they love it when they come and they say, I couldn't spot my dancers dancing with your dancers because they're so trained.
This is true. Witness. So you've been around for so many years. What would you say are changed, like where the public accepts dance performances now compared to before? Is there any change? Are they more accepting of dance performances now than they were before?
But I think to a certain extent, the pandemic that shut down the theaters made people really just want to get back into theaters and watch live performances. So there's a natural bubbling and exuberance in the musical theater world, in dramatic theater as well as in dance. And because of the accessibility of everything, thanks to these handheld units. I mean, everybody can watch what the Russian dancers are doing. Everybody can watch what, so and so is doing in Brazil and so on. So there is such a tremendous exposure, let's say, which is also dangerous because then it just becomes more comfortable for people to just stay at home and just watch. And nakakatamad naman to get out of my pajamas and take the ride to a theater. Ay, umuulan, wag na lang, mababasa ako, ma-traffic, so forth and so on. Live theater, the experience of that is fantastic. So that's what we're trying to work out with, again, Eva Salvador and the Sining Alaming ng CCP to bring in new audiences, the young. The young, So for this Carmina Burana, we have the Kiliawan Boys, and Girls Choir performing with the PPO and the Magical Singers.
Yes, that's a triple threat, they call it.
Young in Park and Lara.
You have dancing, you have singing, and a live orchestra. I mean, how great is that, right?
Get the message out. Don't miss this. This is different from everything you see in that handheld unit.
Yeah. And there's nothing like live.
Yes.
I mean, flesh to flesh.
Yes.
Right? So, it seems you've reached the peak of your career being named the national artist. Did you ever expect to be named that when you were working, or it just happened? I mean, obviously your body of work is very impressive, but were you working towards that?
No, never. I had retired.
Yeah, I know.
I had retired. I had handed the baton, the artistic baton, to Edna, and then Denisa, and then who followed after that? Cecile Sicanco, Bam Damian. I had handed the artistic baton to these wonderful individuals who shared the passion and the love for what this company had achieved. And they carried on with the company. So I became Alicia Van Dorn, enjoying theater and dance and galleries and exhibits.
And Lola.
And becoming a Lola. But fate has a way of pulling you. Margie asked if I could come back and help bring the company to its 50th anniversary. That happened. And then the pandemic. And then suddenly there's this thing of, you are a candidate for national artist. It's an honor. It's a tremendous undertaking because I feel that there are responsibilities that go with that award, and I'm hoping that I can carry on in my 8th decade by traveling the country and doing as much as I can, working with various local government units.
So you haven't stopped. She hasn't stopped. So we look forward to more of you
with your
in
help
the coming years. I'll always be there for you.
Keep us dancing.
If you wish to show and grace them for future performances, you may visit their Facebook page. Para sa marami pang Sensei at Limang Siglo na videos, bisitahin ang aming mga social media accounts. At huwag kalimutang mag-follow, mag-like, at mag-share. ikaw ay nanonood pa rin ng Sensei.
I've known you since I
Yes.
was 19.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm a grandma now. So I'll always be there for you.
Thank you, Tats.
Full support.
Thank you, thank you. That is certainly among the greatest blessings that we keep treasured.
Okay, Alice, how did you get to this point? What were your influences? What drove you? What motivated you into taking this path?
I had, as I mentioned earlier, both my parents were musicians, and so there was a lot of song and dance and music in our lives. My father and I danced together as a father and daughter team. We were invited by the Bayanihan to join them when they had this invitation to perform at the 1958 exposition in Brussels. The Bayanihan was formed. I went with my father and this wonderful assortment, gathering of dancers by the Philippine Women's University, Tita Helen, and so on. We went to Brussels, and it was such a hit that we were invited to go to New York by Ed Sullivan, and Sol Huyurok, who was one of the biggest impresarios in the world, came and talked to Tita Helen Benitez and said, I would like to bring you and put you on Broadway. I mean, I was 16, so this was all overwhelming, but it was really something that I look back on and very proud to have been part of, because that trip put the Philippines on the map. All the audiences we danced to realized these islands called the Philippine Islands, where are they? I mean, all these beautiful dances that were so varied. I mean, most Asian dances are incredibly exotic and beautiful, but they all tend to be of the same style, you know? And here we were with the Igorot and the Ifugao, and then the Maria Clara, and the Jotas and Polka Bals, and then the Muslim, you know, the Pangalay and the Singkil, and then back to the plains with the Tinikling and the Pandanko sa Ilaw and so forth. So talagang wow na wow ang world. So that was part of that realization that dance was part of me and that it was something that I could do easily. So as a student in Marinol College, I did television shows for Delda Navarro, for Lynn Madrigal, and your mother-in-law with her two for the road.
Yeah.
I did 2 weekly shows every week.
Yeah.
And that added to my comfort, I think, at making dances. And my mother was also a glee club conductor of both Marinol College and Ateneo. And at that time, they had choir festivals, and we would compete. And Marinol won Best Award at 1 year, and then Ateneo won the Best Award. So that also made me comfortable working with choirs, working with glee clubs, working with movements for singers. And then what happened after that, that's when I said that I had this invitation to go to the States. I was going to be a diplomat one day, and then suddenly I accepted the fact that I was going to be a dancer, choreographer, whatever. So I did come back here after studies in New York, saw the Cultural Center, launched, and it was mind-boggling for me that we had our own state-of-the-art theater. At that time, in 1969, we were the only ones in Asia.
Yes.
We were the only ones in Asia.
You were the only one. It was the only dance company that actually had a permanent home.
Yeah.
Right?
So I took full advantage of that. And then Jaime Zobel de Ayala became ambassador to London. And he said, Alice, I've got to take your company, which was then called the Alice Reyes Modern Dance Company. I've got to take your company to London and present you during our Independence Day. So that started it, and then we were invited to go to France and so forth. And then in 1970, later on that year, we were invited to go to Australia to be part of the opening of the Sydney Opera House. That was a big, big
Oh,
thing.
really?
The Opera House had a lot of people who were for it and against it. But we went and danced in the little theater. And again, that was quite an event because they were used to folk dances in the Philippines, but they did not expect to see this company doing Amada and Itimasu and being able to do songs of a wayfarer, to Mahler from Casilag, and Ramon Santos. So that was also like the next step to the Philippines showing off what we are able to do, from the folk dance to this very, very theatrical form of storytelling in dance.
Now that you mention it, yes, I recall that it was you who brought Philippine dance through the company practically all over the world, because your repertoire has pieces choreographed by those people, like our show now. It was your collaboration with Norman Walker. I mean, you guested him here.
And we were admired by our various Asian brothers. So Hong Kong Ballet, started to build up. Singapore had their own. Taiwan had developed their own. So it was very heartwarming.
It was all the internationality of Philippine dance. So we're hoping that it goes further, even now, with you at the helm here. Hopefully we get that kind of tour again. We
just wish that our Philippine government can see their way through to supporting more of the arts, more of the performing companies, in the same way that Korea has maximized their talent to market Korea.
Down to fried chicken.
We were there before Korea. We should just continue.
Before K-pop, there was us.
Yes, yes, definitely.
And fried chicken. Their fried chicken. We had Alice Reyes before that. So we are really hoping and wishing that, your heirs, there's so many of them, generations of heirs, just pick up and continue with you at the helm yet, because you're going to be around for a long, long time. We hope that they carry through.
I hope so. Yeah, we're working with the University of Makati and then Guanyin College in Tagaytay and University of the East. And so we hope that we can really just spread around to the universities.
And the provinces.
And the provinces, And then we also have the CCP UMAC 2024 Summer Dance Workshop, which is a continuation of the summer workshop we started 53 years ago. And that culminates with new studies for choreographers showcase.
Okay, so Alice, this is the third year of Alice Reyes Dance Philippines. And what do you have in store for the first offering of this year was your classic Ramahari. And so now you're in the midst of rehearsals for another show.
Well, we're preparing for Carmina Burana with the PPO, the Madrigal Singers, the Pagyawan Choir, and the soloists Byong in Park and Lara Maige. But we're touring Ramahari to Dumaguete. The Luz Auditorium is celebrating its 50th. So we're very happy to be part of that. And then Congressman Kiko Benitez of Bacolod has taken us on to Bacolod for in the La Salle with Brother Kenneth, I think. Yeah, so something we're looking forward to. We have a forthcoming Puso tour that we're working with both the CCP outreach and various governors and mayors in the Visayas. And finally, we have performances of Puso ng Pasko, which we're very proud of, in Miriam College.
Oh, yeah.
at the Malacanang grounds, very beautifully. It's perfect for this Puso ng Pasko with all the lanterns and the trees.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we can bring it to UP as well. So a lot to look forward to. And again, we're just grateful to be busy.
And you're not confining yourself to just the four walls of a theater, which I think is great.
Thank you for joining us in this Sensei special episode with Miss Tats Manahan, featuring Miss Alice Reyes, the national artist for dance. Many talented people have been grooving hard in the production and in the field of arts to fulfill their dreams. In this episode with Miss Alice Reyes, we have learned that if we keep helping, teaching, and opening doors and curtains for those who would like to express their talents, we can make a better country and even world. If our abilities are being seen and valued, the stage will be open for more people to shine and be known. See you again, and we will continue to explore, learn, and improve, because life is a continuous learning process. This is Sensei, their skills and talents.